Alright, so let's look at solving trigonometric equations. Alright, so uh, for this first problem, we want to solve this equation. We want to find all the solutions from 0 to 360 degrees. Alright, so the first thing we want to do is we want to get sine theta by itself. So when we do that, that's going to give us 2 sine theta equals 1. And then I divide both sides by 2, and that gives me sine theta equals 1/2. Alright, so now I want to find all the solutions. There's 0, 90, 180, 270, and then back to 360. So I want to find all the solutions from 0 to 360. So I have sine theta equals a positive number. So that tells me that my solutions are going to be in the first quadrant and the second quadrant, because that's where sine theta is positive, in the first and second quadrant. Remember, all students take calculus. Alright, so we need to find our reference angle. Okay, and if you remember, your reference angle is the angle that's in the first quadrant. Okay, reference angles are in the first quadrant. So that means that my solution in the first quadrant, that's also going to be my reference angle. And I'm going to use that reference angle to find the solution in the second quadrant. Okay, so let's remember our solutions are in the first and second quadrant. All right. Okay, so sine theta equals 1/2. Well, that means that theta is equal to 30 degrees. Okay, that's one of the special angles. You're supposed to know that the sine of 30 is 1/2. Okay, so this is my solution in the first quadrant. That's my 30 degrees. Well, now I need my second quadrant angle. So if I look at that, I also have a solution here. Okay, well, what's my reference angle? My reference angle is 30 degrees. Okay, it's also a solution to the equation. Okay, so theta is what? 180. See, the 180 and then minus the 30. Minus 30 is 150. And so my solution in the second quadrant is 150 degrees. And there's my solution. Okay. Alright, let's take a look at another one. Alright, 2 cosine theta plus 1 equals 0. Alright, so first let's solve for cosine theta. So I get 2 cosine theta equals -1. Divide by 2, so I get cosine theta equals -1/2. Okay, so let's think about this. Cosine theta equals a negative number. Well, where is cosine negative? It's negative in the second quadrant and the third quadrant. Okay, so first I need to find my reference angle, because see, when I find my second quadrant angle, I need my reference angle, and I'll use a subscript r to represent reference angle. And when I find my third quadrant angle, this is my reference angle. Well, what's your reference angle? Your reference angle, remember, that's your first quadrant angle. Okay, so to find my reference angle, I have had a little technical difficulty there, but we're back. Alright, so to find my reference angle, I have to take cosine theta and set it equal to the positive 1/2. Okay, because whenever you take the sine, cosine, tangent, cotangent, cosecant, secant of a reference angle, it's always going to be positive. Okay, so cosine theta equals 1/2. That means theta, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a subscript r to let me know that's not going to be a solution. My reference angle is not a solution here. It's just going to be my reference angle, because our original problem is cosine theta equals negative 1/2. Okay, and so my reference angle is 60 degrees. Okay, so now let's use that reference angle. Let's use the reference angle to find my second quadrant solution. Okay, so I need theta. Whoa, let me erase that. My reference angle is going to be 60 degrees, and so I get theta is equal to, well, that's going to be 180 minus 60, so theta is 120 degrees. Okay, so one of my solutions is 120 degrees. Now let's find the third quadrant angle, this angle here. Well, using my reference angle, 60 degrees, I get theta is, well, that's going to be 180, and then I'm going to add the reference angle. So that's 180 plus 60, so theta is 240 degrees. Okay, and so there's my solution. Alright, so just to compare the first problem, okay, notice here on the first problem, see, I already had the trig function equals a positive number. Okay, so when I get theta, that's a solution because the trig function equals a positive number. It's a solution, and it's also my reference angle, and I use this reference angle to find the second quadrant angle because that's where sine is also positive. But over here in this problem, okay, I have my trig function equals a negative number. So what I do is I change this negative to a positive, and since I changed it from a negative to a positive, I'm going to denote this as just my reference angle because it's not going to be a solution. Okay, the reference angle in this problem will not be a solution because it's the trig function equals a negative. But in the previous problem, it was a trig function equals a positive, so the reference angle will be a solution there. And so when I changed it to a positive, I found my reference angle 60 degrees, and I used that to find my second quadrant angle, and then I used the reference angle to find the third quadrant angle. Alright, so I hope this helped. I'm going to do some more videos on solving trig functions. I'll do as many as I can. So check those out also. And they'll be, as the examples go, the problems get more difficult. Alright, so thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out my other videos. Thanks.